It's been 2 years since the small city of Salisbury became the centre of a public health emergency after the Skripals were poisoned there with the deadly nerve agent Novichok.
And now the shocking story has become the subject of a new primetime drama starring actress Anne-Marie Duff. But before she tells us all about it, here's what you can expect.
Powerful stuff. We're joined by the star of the show, Anne-Marie Duff.
Hi, Anne-Marie.
Now, and in fact, playing, if you can say such a thing, the star of that particular incident, because let's go through who Tracy Daskovich actually is, the Director of Public Health at Wiltshire Council, and she was pivotal in the way this was dealt with. So explain who she is and what she did.
So she was this person working in Salisbury, taking care of everybody. You know, if there was a huge water leak and, you know, so houses were deprived of water, she would be in charge of sorting that out. Or if there was contamination or if there had been any of those sorts of problems that we deal with on a day-to-day basis, that was her job. She was the person that, you know, everybody lent on, you know, and although there were huge crises in people's lives, they were nothing compared to the Novichok poisonings, you know. So she has this extraordinary, grassroots, lovely, helpful, caretaking person.
Well, I mean, life changed for her drastically that day, and she certainly stepped up to the challenge and handled it incredibly well. She's a bit of an unsung hero, actually, and when you came to doing your research, not an awful lot out there.
No, that's true. No, I Googled her as soon as I got the script because I had no memory of her, you know, and there's very, very little about her. And that was part of, I think, Adam and Declan's, the writers' objective was to, you know, really make her real for people. And, you know, it's the classic story, isn't it? You know, there's this extraordinary woman who comes from social work who doesn't get all the plaudits, but lots of men in suits do, you know, so... But she was such a compass point, you know. She affected what happened deeply, you know. So.
Well, we tried to Google her, Holly and I, in one of the commercial breaks this morning, and there's very little to find out because we wanted to know what she's doing now. But she's now the Deputy Director of Public Health for the whole of the southwest of England, and also helping in the country's coronavirus response. When you met her, she said in an interview, and I've got to change one of the words here. Quite obviously, she said in an interview in the Telegraph that the first words you said to her were not hello, were how the hell did you survive that?
Apparently I said that. I have no memory of that. I remember walking into her kitchen because she was so lovely and generous, and I went to her house and hung out with her and her husband, and I met her son, and, you know, we got to know each other in a very nice, informal way. But apparently that's what I said when I walked through the door, because I'd obviously been driving to Salisbury, you know, thinking about it. But I do think...
What made you think did you survive that? What was it that you've learnt in the story that made you think those words?
Well, look, we have the wisdom and of hindsight of COVID. We have that now. So for us, the idea of saying we're going to lock down this town, or we're going to, you know, it doesn't seem so strange to us. It doesn't seem as surreal or as, you know, overwhelming as it would to that woman at that time. You know, she had to come up against a lot, you know, a lot of bureaucracy, a lot of doubters, and, you know, the economic repercussions which we feel and understand now that it would have meant for her to activate all her decisions, you know. So I just think it must have taken an extreme amount of fortitude, an extreme amount of self-conviction, and also to then go home and try and be the best mum you can be and try and be a decent wife and, you know, just keep it all together. It's just extraordinary.
And does it help as an actress to have... I mean, this wasn't that long ago, and you've played characters in the past, but they haven't been alive for you to ask them the questions. Does that help, or does that add pressure onto you as an actress?
It does add pressure. If you can sit beside somebody, you know, it's kind of terrifying and a great privilege, but therefore you have to be so truthful, so authentic, because there's always someone who can say, excuse me, you know, and testify against you. So it requires a great level of kindness and trust and generosity, you know. So you feel very privileged, very proud to have been allowed to step inside somebody's shoes when they're still wearing them. You know?
Yeah.
There's been a little bit of criticism because certainly the parents of DS Bailey, who fell ill after searching the Skripals' house, they've said that they think it's maybe a bit soon.
That has been said, but also they have seen the programme and they're not unhappy with it. So I think that's really important to say. Look, it's curious, isn't it? Do we tell a story years down the line when there may be inaccuracies because people want a bit more dramatic effect? Or do we tell a story when we're still having the conversation about something and people's nerve endings still feel it and their voices are still begging to be heard? I think there's... sorry, I beg your pardon.
No, not at all. I mean, you got out of respect, you didn't shoot it in Salisbury.
There are a few wee bits that were shot in Salisbury because we couldn't mock up certain areas, but generally speaking, we avoided it out of, because it would have been a very emotive experience for people walking down the street to have seen mock-ups of what happened.
Yeah, for sure. And also everyone's looking forward to, hopefully, Sex Education Series 3. That's not being filmed yet? Is it on the cards to be filmed?
Look, there's no filming really. I know soaps are trying to get back together, but really we're just trying to work out the logistics of filming anything at the moment and the health and safety issues. And, the whole of my industry is... it's a tricky time for us and we're just trying to work out a way to move forward. There will definitely be a season 3 of Sex Education, I can tell you that. And I think that will please a lot of people because it's hugely popular. But there's just, the whole of the storytelling world is doing its best to work out how we can carry on because we need story more than ever.
Yeah,
absolutely.
we do.
So would you like us not to ask you whether or not you're going to be in it?
Look, if I told you, I'd have to kill you because...
Fair enough.
It
Thank you so much,
Thank
Eamonn.
you.
It's lovely to talk to you. It is this Sunday at 9 on BBC One, and then it's over 3 consecutive nights. And it's lovely to talk to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Bye now.
Bye.
Bye.